So anyone has tried that basic calculator 4 problem? Arnab, Mohit, Tarun, Ayush, Gautam. Nobody has even tried. But you have read the question, right? Any ideas? Because I will give an answer, but I am wanting that what's your intuition, because intuition coming from you is very important. Arnab, any intuition?
As of now, nothing, blank.
Okay. So let's take an easier example of that. Okay. So let's say I am giving a plus 5, or let's say instead of variables I only have values. Okay, so let's say 8 plus 5 minus 7 plus 9. Okay, so this is the thing. How are going, and let's say there are only plus, minus and multiplication in the expression. Okay, so let's say multiply 10. How are you going to evaluate this with in programming using recursion or stack? How are you going to do this before answering the original question? Try to think of this. Ayush, how can we do this? Like, let's say if we only have numbers, not variables. Yeah, Arnav, go ahead.
So I'll do the first one step. I mean, any from left to right. Like I'll take the left one number, then I'll take the expression one, and I'll call the recursion or rest of other part.
Can you just repeat?
I mean, from left to right, like I'll take the first digit or the first integer, then I'll take the expression one. I mean, the sign on like positive
Hmm.
or multiplication, subtraction. Then I'll call recursion on the rest of the part.
So let's say here you will evaluate 9 into 10 and then call recursion for the rest of the part.
No, no, no. I'll call recursion from 9 to rest of the part, and whatever answer will come, I'll multiply into that to 10.
But multiplication has to be done first, right? Like in Bodmas rule, like we are following Bodmas rule, right?
Yes.
So multiplication has to be done before. Mohit, Tarun, any intuition? Gautam, Ayush. सिंपल चीज़ है, मैंने बोला
Uh,
कि मेरे पास, हाँ बताओ, कुछ बोल रहे थे, कुछ बोल रहे थे.
uh, okay,
या आयुष, गो अहेड.
for evaluating it, so like we have the symbol, so they have some priority, like what are the like, so we have a multiplication and if we, like division or like in board mass. So what is we taken as first, and uh, this one at like and I'm not sure, like, but we can start from instead of starting from initially and calculating it, we can start from the end and do the same thing.
Okay. Can I talk about a very simple approach? Since there are only three kind of symbols, plus, minus and multiplication, right? So let's say I iterate over the expression three times. First I will evaluate all the multiplications. Okay, so first I will evaluate all the multiplications, which is 9 into 10. Then I will evaluate all the plus, let's say uh, 13 and plus 90, so 103, and then I will evaluate all the subtractions. Okay, so then I will get my answer, right? So if I tell you that first, so given an expression, first I will do all the multiplications, then I will do all the plus and the negatives. Okay, so that can be done using a simple for loop, yes or no?
Yes.
Now let's say I introduce brackets. Okay, so let's say I have plus minus. So this question can be solved now by everyone. Like if this question comes in the sheet or in the interview, everyone can solve it. Tarun, Mohit, Gautam, the intuition is clear. कैसे करना है? Because there are only three things. Yeah. So now let's say I introduce brackets. So let's say 8 plus 5 plus or let's say minus 7 minus 10 and into 10. Okay, so now think how can we do this. Okay, so we can extend the logic I told usko extend karke, like how can we extend it for brackets. So I will give you an hint. So let's say function expression gives me the answer evaluating the expression. Okay, so how can we extend this for brackets? Socho, like think for 2 minutes.
Anish,
Yeah.
I'll make a function which will solve that one logic. Like uh, whatever the symbol is, we'll do that operation, and I'll make a separate function like that, and then I'll make another function which will evaluate only the brackets. So if any brackets come, then I'll call that function which evaluate the uh, multiplication or
Great.
addition and subtraction.
Great. So first we will iterate over all the over the expression. Okay, first we will iterate over the expression. Okay, so first when we are iterating, so Siddhant, for example, we are discussing the basic calculator problem. Okay, so first we will iterate and see where the brackets are. Okay, so for example I will find out when the first bracket is starting. The first bracket is starting, so I'll find out the first bracket and the last bracket index. Okay, I will first find out the first opening bracket and the last closing bracket index. Okay, so the expression within the first opening bracket and the last closing bracket, I will not solve that. I will call the function again within itself from the first bracket. So it will be expression from the first bracket index, let's call it FB, till the last closing bracket, which is let's say LB. Okay, so I will find out the value. So let's say this is the value of the expression from the first bracket till the last bracket. Okay, I will find out the value doing a recursion call, because the recursion call will solve that expression value now. Okay, so it will be solving 7 minus 10. So I will be sending the expression 7 minus 10. Okay, I will be sending this expression to the function to solve it, and I will be doing this recursively. So I now know what the value between the brackets will yield. Okay, so is it clear till here? So whenever I see there is a opening bracket, I take the expression between it and send it to the same function recursively, that you take this expression, solve it, and give it the value back to me. Okay, so that I can replace this bracket with its value in the original expression. So if I replace the value 7 this so if I replace this bracket thing with its value in the original expression, what will be it? 8 plus 5 minus of minus 3 plus into 10, right? Yeah, into 10. Okay, so now this has come back to the original problem, right? So we have solved the case for the first bracket inclusion, right? Arnab, Gautam, Siddhant has joined just now, Mohit, Tarun. Okay, so so can everyone now solve the question where you will be given numbers and there will be operators of plus, minus, multiplication, brackets, right? Now this will be done. Okay, now let's say instead of numbers we have expressions as well. Okay, so everything will be same, just you need to do a different type of multiplication, addition and subtraction, just as we do in coefficients. Okay, so how we add coefficients, and also this is a very good example of how you should do modular functions. Okay, like you shouldn't do everything in one function. Okay, like for example you should have a function of addition. Okay, where you will be taking an expression, or let's say uh, expression 1 or expression 2 and the operator. Okay, so now can you add this? How do we perform coefficient additions? Come on, this is very basic maths. How do we do uh, polynomial or like binomial additions? Like if the coefficient matches we add them, right? If the coefficient matches we subtract them, right? So we will simply make a check over all the expressions that if the coefficients are matching, we will be updating their values or the things. Okay, so for example, like if we have a into a and then we have again a into a, so we will be adding their numbers. Okay, so this is very basic. This function everyone can implement, yes or no? Given two expressions and the operation, everyone can implement. Operation can be plus, minus or in multiplication, right? So now my thing is very clear. Like I have an expression, let's say e plus 8 minus 7 into a anything. Okay, and then there can be brackets like b plus 7. Okay, so the algorithm is very similar what we have discussed just now. First things, we will have a recursive function, let's say function evaluate, and we are taking the expression as the parameter. Okay, in that function what we are going to do, first we will check the position of the opening bracket, first position of the opening bracket and last closing bracket. Okay, and then let's say if this is I and this is j, I will tell that I will send or call the same function evaluate and tell that function that calculate the value of the expression from index I plus 1 till j minus 1, that is the expression between the first opening bracket and the last closing bracket. I will tell that calculate the value between the first opening bracket and the last closing bracket and give me the answer. Okay, so let's say the evaluate gives me the answer value. So now instead of the whole bracket part, I will substitute the value returned by this function. Okay, now I am pretty much sure that I don't have any more brackets. I only have variables, numbers, plus, minus, multiplication, right? Yes or no? Because I have already evaluated all the brackets by recursively calling the functions with the expression between the brackets. Okay, so for example, let me give another example. So let's say there is one more expression, a plus b minus c, then d into e. Okay, so first of all I would remove all the brackets by calling the function with the expression between this bracket, between this bracket. Okay, and let's say there is one more bracket, and within this bracket there are two more nested brackets. Okay, so I will also call the function with the value between it. Okay, and after finding all the values I will be substituting that value in the place of the whole bracket. This is clear? Mohit clear? Tarun, Gautam, Arnab, Ayush? Gautam? Okay, Gautam is clear. Ayush? Okay. So now what I ensure that I don't have any more brackets. It can be only variables, numbers, plus, minus, multiplication. Now what I told in the first question, that if I have only plus, minus and multiplication, so what we will do first, we will make 3 iterations. Loop 3 बार चलेगा. I will be running the loop 3 times. One time for multiplication, one time for addition, one time for subtraction. Or you can do one more thing, one time for multiplication, one more time for subtraction and addition. Okay, so now I have, let's say, a plus bc minus ed into 6. Okay, so in the first iteration we will be evaluating all the multiplications. जहाँ पर भी मल्टीप्लिकेशन मिलेगा इस इटरेशन पे वी विल बी इवेल्युएटिंग इट. So for example, we will be evaluating this multiplication, a plus bc minus 6ed. Okay, and after that we will be taking two things. We will be taking every two expressions and we will be adding or subtracting, because after evaluating the multiplications I am only left with additions and subtractions. So after evaluating the multiplications, the expression will be of this type: something plus something, then there will be a minus in between, then an expression, then it can be another addition, like this. It will be of this type. The operators in between will be minus or plus. Okay, so simple thing, I will be taking two expressions and evaluating the operator. Okay, for example, I will be taking this two, subtracting it if it is a subtraction, having its value, let's say val 1, then take the next expression with val 1, see what is the operator, let's say this is val 2, then I will be taking the next expression, perform the operation, let's say this is val 3, then I will be taking this and I will be getting my final answer. Okay, and for calculating or evaluating these operations we have already made a function. Remember, we have already made the function here, add expression 1 to operation. Okay, so you can simply call this function with the first expression, the second expression and the operator. It will give you the answer. Okay, so this is how you go about step by step solving this problem. Clear? Arnab, Mohit, Tarun, algorithmically how you have to do step by step, is it clear or not? Ayush, Gautam.
Yes, sir. Sir. How we will write the add function like if we
Add,
have given
yeah,
one.
so add function is very simple. Like let's say add nahi, we would be calling it, let's say, function operate expression 2 operator. Okay, तो अगर ऑपरेटर प्लस होगा, सो व्हाट वी विल डू, सिंपल थिंग, एक्सप्रेशन में हम लोग के पास क्या रहेगा, इट विल बी ऑफ एन एरे टाइप. सो लेट्स से a इंटू ए, लेट्स से -1 इंटू ए, पहला ये है एक्सप्रेशन 1 ऐसा है, ठीक है. -1 इंटू ए, देन वी हैव 2 इंटू सी, let's say 3 into de, and then you have 4. Okay, so this is expression 1. Now there is expression 2. Let's say you have -1a, then you have 2c again, 3d, and let's say 10. So let's say if I have to add, कैसे करोगे तरुण? Very simple. You check कि किसका किसका coefficient match हो रहा है. Like you run a for loop over expression 1 and you run a for loop over expression 2. Find out if the things are matching, like a into a कहीं और है कि नहीं expression 2 में. अगर है तो perform the addition, okay, or perform the subtraction. Simple thing. तो ऐसे एक फाइनल एरे बनाओगे, लाइक लेट्स से दिस विल बी द एरे यू विल बी रिटर्निंग. तो एडिशन के बाद क्या होगा? देयर इज नो ए इंटू ए इन दिस एरे, राइट? सो इट विल बी -1 into a, okay. Then for c there is one more entry, so it will be 2 + 2 4 into c. de के लिए कोई एंट्री नहीं है, 3 into de. Then there is 4 के लिए एक एंट्री है 10 14. Then there is 1a, there is no entry. 3d, there is no entry. Okay, so this is your final array. You have to sort it. तो sort तो कर ही लोगे, sort function just call करना है. So this is the final array that you will be returning after adding the two expressions. Similarly multiplication का होगा तो सबके साथ सबका multiply करना होगा and then you perform the addition.
Okay sir.
ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप जाना है. तो इफ आई समराइज, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल रिकर्शन कहाँ पे यूज हो रहा है? टू सिंप्लीफाई द ब्रैकेट्स. रिकर्शन विल बी यूज टू सिंप्लीफाई द ब्रैकेट्स. उसके बाद पहला इटरेशन में, फर्स्ट इटरेशन में क्या करेंगे? कम ऑन, वी विल बी सिंप्लीफाइंग द मल्टीप्लीकेशंस. उसके बाद लास्ट इटरेशन में क्या करेंगे? वी विल बी इवेल्युएटिंग द प्लस एंड द माइनसेस, एडिशन एंड सब. या ओके, और एक हेल्पर फंक्शन हम लोग का रहेगा ऑपरेट बोल के, विच विल बी टेकिंग टू एक्सप्रेशंस एंड ऑपरेटिंग देम. लाइक उसका इवेल्युएट करके देगा. लाइक लेट्स से इफ आई वांट टू ऐड टू एक्सप्रेशंस, तो वो ऐड करके मेरे को आंसर रिटर्न करेगा. इफ आई वांट टू मल्टीप्लाई, इट विल मल्टीप्लाई एंड गिव मी द आंसर. ओके, क्लियर? यप, एग्जैक्टली. जैसे व्हेन यू सॉ इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन लग रहा था. इट वाज सीमिंग अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हेन स्टेप बाय स्टेप, एवरी स्टेप इज वेरी इजी, लाइक यू अंडरस्टूड इट योरसेल्फ. ठीक है, तो वी हैव टू गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप इन लार्ज प्रॉब्लम्स कि हाउ कैन आई सिंप्लीफाई इनटू द नेक्स्ट स्टेप. ठीक है, cool. Then I think this was one of the very hard problems in the sheet, so everyone should go back and solve it. Implementation is very important. Just knowing the intuition is not enough. Implementing and getting an AC is as important as knowing the algorithm. Okay, so everyone should go back and implement this. And I think after recursion, those who have completed recursion start with the backtracking sheet. Okay, anyone, any other question? Otherwise, like, I think we are done for the day.
Anish, I had one question regarding the recursion.
That kth one?
No. So not that actually. So how should I proceed for solving the recursion questions? Like when I went through the list and like there are questions from, like some will require DP, some will require knowledge of trees.
See,
So
the questions which requires the knowledge of trees, like binary search trees and all of those, you can skip that. But those which require the knowledge of DP, do attempt them, because DP is nothing but recursion with memorization. Okay.
Yeah.
So in recursion, you don't have to store the value. In DP, you have to store the value. Okay.
Okay.
Sakshi, the class is already over. Just watch the recording. Okay, yeah, coming back. तो जो question DP का है, just attempt that. जो question BSK and all of those का है, you can skip it.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I think that's it. I have recorded it, so no worries. Those who couldn't attend, I will put it out. Just watch the recording. Cool. Then have a great day. Bye.